So we're taking the photo of the koala, and all of a sudden Delta just goes, "Oh, look at that!" Yeah, he goes, "Oh, it's a mouse," and we just stood there for about 25 minutes, just slowly trying to get show photos of this mouse in between all the little, in between the grass, the foliage, and he came right up to us at one point as well. It was insane. He just was not scared of us eating him at all. But yeah, really cute little mouse, and you can see his little paws, and yeah, we tried really hard to get close to him. He only got skittish about once or twice. A bunch of other families were stopping along the way as well, and trying to point him out and trying to see him, but yeah, luckily no one scared him off. His ears were really prominent too. Like, yeah, look at the little hands, yep. Look at the hands while he's eating, and the ears. He's the most mouse-looking mouse I've ever seen. I thought mice only look like that in cartoons, so I couldn't believe it. So here's one I tried to have a little muck around with, and I'm not sure if I've sold on it yet because it's just too full on. But I reckon let's get this mouse one. I reckon let's have a look at some shots and decide which one we're going to edit. So this one was really difficult because he or she, the mouse, was in between grass, and the camera kept wanting to focus on the grass. Because we couldn't put it on manual mode, we had to do it auto. So just constantly trying to correct focus every single time he moved. And you see there, just munching away. That one there, I think it caught it. Yeah, the eye is quite sharp. I really like this one. The hand's not so much, but the eye is very sharp. But I think this is the winner. That one's very, like it just missed focus. Very ethereal. But yeah, this is it. This is the one, guys. I'm going to edit this one. And my computer's working overtime. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is crop. So that is a more engaging picture. Just going to go in real tight. Real tight. There we go, about there. Let's see if we can center it. There we go. Alright, so the focal point obviously is the eyes. The hands are also kind of in focus. So I'm just going to try and go with this one, but obviously the main color problem is going to be the grass. So let's just start at the top with a bit of contrast to bring him out a little bit more. Lower the highlights. Bring out the shadows so I can see him better. Notice the blue is quite prominent actually around him, so blue has got to be a big factor in this one too. Alright, so let's go. Don't think it needs any particular curve at the moment, so let's just go straight to the colors. Green. Now the question always is, do we want bright greens or dark greens? And we just have to go from there. And of course, we'll adjust as we go. I think dark greens are going to work. We want to make it look distinctively Australian, so pale colours. I'm going to reduce the yellows. The yellows are almost gone. Not entirely, but almost. Let's upgrade the oranges a bit. We'll make them a little darker. Make it a little bit. There we go. Alright, so greens are going to be an issue. Let's just go have a look at the blues. As we dull the blues down, you can see it's hell blue around here. It's really blue. So we just dull that down. The blue disappears. Didn't have to use much. About there, I reckon. And you can see still are some blues, but they're a bit lighter. So let's go a bit more to the green side of the hue. Desaturate. Luminance. Okay, so if you can see the colors at the moment, green is the focal, gray, and orange. Let's see if there's reds are affecting anything. Oh, okay. So the branches are affected by red. We don't want them doing too much. So again, we're just going to reduce them down a little bit. Really desaturate everything a bit. Okay. So the question is, what kind of greens do we want, guys? Greens are the bane of every photographer's existence because they overpower every photo. So hard to get subtle greens in a photo. Okay, so if we desaturate, that does subtle them a little bit more. But you want them a little bit, luminescence to be a little bit, not too bright. If I do it like that, I feel like it loses something. Let's just go neutral. Now, blue-green is not the vibe here. The yellow-green, and we want to go, yeah, that's towards this side, towards the yellow side of the spectrum. All right, so they can make the greens either blue or yellow. And in this case, I'm going just slightly towards the yellow. Let's see what the purples do. Oh, purples desaturate a lot more too. Oh, Jesus. Do you want a purple mouse? Anyone want a purple mouse? No. Let's reduce that down a little bit more too. So he's going to be very grey, unfortunately. I wanted to make him brown, but I just don't have enough pigment. So even though he looks brown to me in real life, in the photos, he's coming up very grey. Alright, let's see what we can do on the shadow front. In the shadow realm. So if I go green, you can see here in all the shadows, they go green, blue. We just removed a bunch of blues, so probably want to do blue. I mean, green is looking good, but maybe it's not the shadows. Let's go the highlights instead. Sometimes you just don't need to affect everything. Just have a little play around and see what works. Because I came into this with no plan at all. I'm just seeing what works. If I wanted to be lazy, I'd just use my presets. But in this case, I want to actually see what works. I think orange is actually giving it a little subtle boost there. See, Alright, down to reds maybe. Nah, reds is not working either. I'm going to leave the highlights there as well. We'll have one last check at the midtones. Oh, that's really intense. Jeez, it looks like, yeah, this is a very mid-tone heavy photo. If I wanted to go, I don't mind that actually, just enhancing the greens a little bit. Alright, let's go with that, why not? If I go down, it goes grey. If I go up, it goes... It's funny that I reduced the yellow so much and then added yellow in through midtones. But I don't mind that. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Alright, let's quickly go up to clarity. Just make it a little bit more clear. Make it a little bit more crisp. I could go, if I go full, it's just going to be too much. So you want to... I always try not to go over 20%. I think 17 here is pretty good. Just to increase the eyes and crisp lines out a little bit more. I'm not a big fan of the dehaze either. Like, I don't really use it very often. So I might just leave it neutral. And just a little hint of vignette. 6%. There we go. Alright, how are we feeling about that, guys? Very pastel-y. I might even just crop. Just give him a little bit more room. There we go. Again, if this wasn't so orange, I reckon it would probably work that tad better. But yeah, no, I don't mind that. That's not too bad. This is one I did previously with a preset. So this would be a preset that I could have just gone straight to my preset and used and not have to worry about this whole editing process. But without that, like that is where I have come up naturally without trying to use a preset, without doing anything else. Like naturally, it's not too far off. The difference is probably a slight difference in pastels. I think this one is a tad crisper. This one is a little too overdone. You can't really see the mouse much. He's too grey. But this one here, you can actually see a little bit more. Exactly, so cute. He's going to give me a side quest, says Cubert. And yeah, I wanted a little side quest. I wanted to be like, someone stole my lucky nut. I must get back from this crow. I was a little worried because we're bringing so much attention to him by putting our cameras close to him. Everybody kept stopping and looking, and one of the kids had a rock in his hand, and I just looked. They said, "Don't you dare throw that rock!" But that was good. Well, thanks, Ray. Ray says, "Nice edit. Suits the photo. I really appreciate it. Thank you." And now you're going to see the cheat code to photography. Control C, copy. Control V, paste. That's it. Like, just once you've got it, now I can go to all the others and just go whack. Good job on the greens. Yeah, I love green. Like, green is my favorite color, but in photography, greens are hard. It is a hard color to work with. Blues and oranges are so much easier. Reds are easier. Greens, though. Hi for Epic. Thank you for stopping by, mate. Love a good cheat code. Hi for Epic, by the way. Everyone who doesn't know, he's an awesome photographer. So get on his page. It's I for Epic. Check him out on Instagram. No spoilers for 2024, but we are planning on doing some sort of photography collab together in the coming weeks. So hashtag spoilers. I really like this one. It's just a lot crisper. I think the lens really just locked on really well with this one. It's crisp around there, crisp with his face. You can see his fingers. The depth of field's awesome. I just love the whole getting this mouse in the middle of the field, in the middle of the foliage. It's really cool. Just going to go a tad close to the centering. What I might even do is just duplicate. Where did I put duplicate? There we go. Duplicate one photo. Alright. And I'm going to give it the old vertical treatment so that I can put it on Instagram. There we go. Now, vertical for Instagram. It's the old obvious thing of takes up more of your screen. You're going to get more attention. Portrait just works much better on Instagram than landscape. Like, you have to look in, like, you know, every time the landscape is published on on Instagram. So yeah, portrait rules. Portrait is the way forward there. All right, so we have edited the mouse, guys. Oh, this one's a little dark. Of course, I'm only going to publish one or two of these, but I'll edit all of them as part of the set. I can decide which ones in the moment feel my needs. For example, I really like this one, just as like eye. Look at that eye. Launch it away. So these ones are a bit darker. Let's just lighten them up a tad. Too much. Ah, look, his mouth. It's the first time you get to see his mouth. I swear it's like the most aesthetically pleasing mouse I've seen since the movie Mousetrap. Sorry, not Mousetrap, Mouse Hunt. Don't know if you guys remember that movie from the 90s, Mouse Hunt. Alright, so let's check the same color grade, but on the koala. Let's see if that works. So you got the bright colors, but the highlights are huge. And now you can see, like, you just can't get the grays correct. Like, it just doesn't quite vibe the way the other one did. So if you see my darker edit there, the grays aren't too bad. This one here, while I like the colors, yeah, I love that movie. There you go, Ray knows. I just don't know. I don't know about this grey. Let's give it a go now. See there, that one works a bit better. I think it's a darker. There's less highlights. So this one actually has a background. You can see all the in the background. This one does not have a background. It's just the sky, and it is just blown out a bit. I don't mind it. What do you think? Anyone? All right. There you go. So here's a shot of Delta Wolf himself. And if we give him the same edit, not too bad. I might put the blues back in for his one. Keep him a bit pastel. Lower the intensity there. There we go. I like a bit of blues. A bit of blues in there. Yeah, so unfortunately I was trying to focus on his hat. I got his shoulder, but in the moment. Wow, the blues come to play on this one. The blues came to play. Look at the pastels. I'm really enjoying this. I don't even want to go too far in. I'm just going to let it sit there. So this one was when I didn't have the zoom lens on. So I took the photo with my 85mm, and there was, yeah, I did not have the zoom lens on. I believe I gave that one back to Delta Wolf, and yeah, then I think it was only 5 minutes before I'm like, can I have it back? All right. This is the Bluebird. He was faster. Willy Wagtail, I believe he was. Good old Willy. So yeah, Willy Wagtail, blue, a little bit of blue on his skull. It's really cool. And there we go. So that's the same one as before. I don't know if I like the colors too much. I'm going to go back to the old mouse. I'm going to copy this one here. Copy this one. And then go back. That one. And just see the difference. It's only subtle, but that way you don't have to do your work all the time. You can literally just go back to a previous edit, copy and paste, and then go back and see whether that one works a bit better. I prefer the greens in this one. So let's get the blues correct. You see the blue of his face is really important to get right here because it's such a focal point. It's too dark. So I'm going to reset the purples. Reset the blues. And there you can see that's his natural blue there. So let's make it a tad brighter, a tad bluer. Brighter again, a little bit more luminosity. I don't want it to be dark blue, I want it to be like a bright, vibrant blue, because in real life he looked vibrant, he was so bright. I think the camera didn't quite capture how bright he was, so I'll just fix it in post. Only very slight differences with the light blue there, but I don't mind the basic colour. Alright, so he's looking good. Let's give it a little bit of a crop. If you put it here, he's not quite 1/3. You put it in the middle. Kind of like him off center. Yeah, let's put him at 1/3. Alright. Okay, I like the greens, I like the background, everything's quite pale. Leaving him the star of the show, so copy and paste. with wildlife photography as well, you just have to be so patient, and just when you get the opportunity, just click. Like I think I took 1,300 photos, and only about 100 of them were of the waterfall. The rest were all of animals. So on the way to the waterfall, on the way back from the waterfall, I took about 1,200 photos. So yeah, just from wildlife. And this is where Delta Wolf was fantastic. He was a great spotter. He just said, oh look, something over there, and we would turn instantly and start taking photos. So always good to have a mate that's out there letting you borrow lenses and then spotting for you. It was really cool. A little bit out of focus in that one, just like this one. So I love him in the things. This is an edit I did earlier where I was a little bit like, oh, let's go dark green. I think I prefer the pale green though, so let's change that. There we go. Although his blacks are a bit full on, let's just reduce the blacks. No, that's too much. Just can't see his eye there, that's all. There we go, that's how you do it. Just move the shadows up. Now you can see his eye. Okay, these are a little bit more full on than I'd like to though. Yeah, drop it down by a tab and we're good to go. You don't want to use like under feathers, under the chin feathers to affect the photo too much, take away focus. But I like this one. I think this one is one of my favorites. Okay, so after we got him in the tree, he actually came down and started getting seeds. I think he eats a lot of seeds that people step on. So he came straight down, or they went straight down and started attacking. Started just picking up seeds as we were walking past. So I got down on one knee and got as low as I possibly could in order to get him. And he just got closer and closer. So we just sat there and let him get closer and closer and closer. Again, this is with the 100 to 300 millimeter. So I just had to start at 300 and then slowly come all the way back. Because if I moved physically, he was probably not going to keep coming towards me. So I just allowed him to get as close as possible and just hoped that I was able to zoom out. He did get too close and I started losing focus. But these are the photos I got in the meantime. This is my favorite one by far, I think. Just sitting there. And you can see the depth of field, it's gorgeous. Got really lucky with this one. Oh, I like this one. Oh, this one came up nice too. I'm just sitting here gushing about my own photography, but like, no, it's the... I'm gushing about the bird. He's so tiny. Alright, yeah. There we go. Let's get this one a little bit more straighter and a little bit closer. There we go. Now the question is this good enough for me to put into competitions? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sold on that yet. But yeah, I don't know. We can see here we got a different edit. I was doing these before and I'm not sold on the blue. I think the blue's too unnatural in those ones. So that's where, like, initially when you want to edit something, sometimes you're wrong. And you just have to take a step back and be like, give it a day, add it again later. There we go. And again, let's go back to this one. Copy this one so I don't have to redo the work. There we go. Easy. Because I have more birds here, but these ones are like bright parrots. Yeah, bright parrots here, and they're a very interesting shade of green, so I really don't want to... all of them? Thank you! I suppose that it's just wildlife in general, isn't it? I mean, I think I like the bluebird the best, but the mouse is really cute. So yeah, I don't mind that one, but he's just a little lost. Okay, here we go. Okay, now this one might need a little fixing. Fix the green to make the parrots just that little bit more natural looking. Not that natural. Because they were an interesting... There we go. Just reducing the greens more. About there. Okay. And let's see. Let's make the reds more vibrant too. I've desaturated the reds too much. I don't even know what parrots they are, but these ones were really skittish. These are the ones that wouldn't let you near them at all. They're quite fat as well. They're quite big. Just gotta fat shame some parrots here. Alright. Let's see if that one works a bit better. Whoa, let's go there. It did not work. There we go. Nah, I prefer the other one. So if I ever want to just fix it, I just go undo, undo, undo. I mean, you can do it with Control Z as well. There we go. So undo paste, and there we go. So that one's still good. That one's back to the original edit. And there we go. This one's much better, I think. Right, but we'll fix that one in a minute. Get them right in the middle there. There we go. Who's a good parrot? Copy. Paste. Arnott's Biscuits parrots. Yes, that's why I saw them as familiar. They're the parrots that are on the Arnott's Biscuit. I was not aware of this. Like, I just knew I knew them from somewhere. It's a sort of grew an effect, or it's like, oh my god, I know this from somewhere, and then it turns out it's marketing. It's a capitalist biscuit company. You see this one, there's one I just missed focus because he was in the middle of a tree. I couldn't focus on him. The camera was like, no, you want to take a photo of the tree, right? I'm like, no, I did not. Alright, that's it, guys. That just did all set then. So that is every photo, other than some of them. Every photo has been edited there. I'm really liking the color scheme, the pale colors. I'm just really happy with the actual photos I got as well. It just worked.